Time now for the latest business update. The latest Standard Bank research points to lower stages of power cuts and 4 interest rate cuts in 2024. And it foresees the ANC losing its majority in this year's elections, but anticipates that President Cyril Ramaphosa will make it into the 7th administration as president of the state. Now, the ANC is going into this year's elections mired in controversy of corruption and for bringing the economy to its knees. A number of new parties have also emerged over the last few months to try to unseat the ruling party. We're joined now by Chief Economist at Standard Bank, Gulam Balan. He says a coalition government at national level will cause some uneasiness.
We have judged the election through a scenario lens, so we ascribe a 65% probability that the ANC will garner between 45% and 50%, and then a 25% probability of above 50%. So put differently, we estimate that the ANC has a 90% chance of 45% and better. In this respect, at least 2 things are more or less predictable in the sense that with this level of outcome, it is plausible that President Ramaphosa will maintain the incumbency and will be state president in the next assembly. And broadly speaking, the reform agenda that we've become familiar with over the last, say, 12 months or so will remain in train. We ascribe a 10% probability of the ANC seeing a more substantial freefall. In other words, 40% or worse. Now, 10% certainly is a low probability, but it's not insignificant. But it does then fall into that category of low probability, high impact outcomes. So with that potential scenario coming to play, it will introduce coalition politics more fervently, certainly at the national level and quite conceivably in the provincial level. And I think that will inject angst because South Africans have not seen in coalition structures a level of maturity and citizen-centric expectation that we would want to enjoy come to the fore. I think also President Ramaphosa would be vulnerable within the ANC. A less than 40% outcome will probably see his adversaries likely round up against him, and I think his tenure will be vulnerable.